I'm Vanessa Tarpon, qualified sex therapist and educator. Today's topic affects more men than you think, but of course, it is not talked about, and even in hushed corners, it's not talked about. Why some men struggle to orgasm with a female partner but have no problem finishing whilst masturbating. It is a growing trend that I see with my clients, professional, intelligent, capable men who find themselves confused and frustrated. They desire their partner, they're attracted to them, but when it comes to sex, they can't orgasm or even stay fully aroused through the whole activity unless they're alone and often with porn. And here's what I want every man listening to know. You are not broken, okay? But your body might be out of sync with your brain. And modern habits are often the reason why. So, what's going on? Let's break it down. We live in a world of high speed, on demand porn. The variety, intensity, and visual novelty trains the brain to associate pleasure with constant stimulation and control. Masturbation becomes efficient, focused, private, and often involves a very tight grip for maximum sensation, especially my clients who have been, say, masturbating daily for decades. That grip gets tighter and tighter. Over time, this trains the body and brain to only respond to those conditions. So you're in control, you're visually overstimulated, and that stimulation also tricks your brain into thinking you don't need long to orgasm. So when you're then with a partner and it takes a longer time, you think that it's actually abnormal, but the reality is that it's normal. And your hand applies a pressure that no vagina can match. When you started masturbating 20 years ago, you probably had a looser grip, but over time, due to frequency, you had to tighten your grip to orgasm in that shorter time frame or that unrealistic short time frame that your brain has learnt. So when it's time to have sex with a real, loving, soft-bodied human, someone that you care about, you might find that you struggle to stay hard or can't climax at all. Not because you don't want to, but because your nervous system has adapted to a different environment. And then to make things worse, we add the layer of performance pressure. Many men carry this unspoken, socially learnt behavior and belief. I have to be the alpha, the leader, the provider, the sexually competent one, strong and powerful. In the bedroom, this turns into a constant internal monologue of, am I doing it right? Can she tell that I'm not close? Why can't I finish? What if she thinks that I don't want her? And here's the cruel irony. The more pressure you put on yourself to perform, the less likely your body is to respond. Arousal is fragile. It requires presence, relaxation, and connection, and none of those thrive under a performance mindset. So not only are you trying to override porn-conditioned wiring, but you're also doing it under the weight of expectation, shame, and silence. So what can you do? Let's talk 4 practical strategies to help you reset and reconnect. Firstly, cut back on porn gradually or completely. So start by watching less. Masturbate without any visuals. Use memory, imagination, or fantasy instead. Let your brain relearn how to feel arousal from within, not just from a screen. And if this means that you masturbate for longer, that is fine. It's normal and not an issue. Now, if gradual doesn't work, consider taking a 2-week porn break, cold turkey. Let your nervous system breathe and reconnect with those organic cues. If you feel strong enough to use porn again in a healthy manner, then you can start using it again after those 2 weeks. But again, not every time you masturbate, just use it sporadically. Secondly, loosen your grip. If your penis only responds to a strong, fast, tight grip, you've likely developed what is now commonly termed death grip. This desensitizes your penis to the gentler, more variable sensations of a partner's hand or body. So to rewire, you need to use a lighter grip during masturbation, slow down, be curious, practice edging without rushing to climax. Now, it might feel frustrating at first. And you may be tempted to go back to what your body tells you it wants, but stick with it, okay? If you are retraining your brain and your arousal system for real life intimacy, it will happen. Thirdly, reduce frequency. If you are masturbating daily or multiple times a day, your arousal cycle may be depleted. Desire needs room to build. So, reducing the frequency can help reawaken excitement and sensitivity, especially with a partner. Fourth, address that alpha pressure. So you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to perform. Sex is not a performance, it's a conversation. Give yourself permission to feel, not just function. The most powerful intimacy comes from vulnerability, not domination. So real connection happens when you stop trying to impress and start just trying to be present. When a man struggles to orgasm with his partner, it affects more than just his sex life. It impacts confidence, emotional intimacy, and even relationship dynamics. It can make men withdraw, overcompensate, or silently carry shame that they don't know how to express. But the solution isn't shame, it is knowledge, compassion, and small intentional changes. So, if this resonates with you or someone you know, please know there is nothing wrong with you and you can reclaim your pleasure with your partner in a way that brings both connection and climax.